So I just left the gym. Well, actually, I just left Whole Foods because I was grocery shopping, but I think I saw like the hottest guy I've ever seen in my life at the gym. And I was working out and he was like staring at me, and he was actually like down the treadmill, like 2 treadmills down. So then like I got off the treadmill and I went to the sauna, and then I saw him again. He came to the sauna. The whole time he was like staring at me, and he did not say one word. And I'm just like, are you gonna say anything? Like, and I'm not like the kind of person to like approach or talk to a guy first. I know like a lot of girls do that. I just can't. Maybe that's why I'm still single. But men, like, seriously, if you're gonna like stare, like, why don't you say something? Like, what is wrong with men these days? Like, they'll stare at you, but they won't say anything. It's just so weird to me.
What are your thoughts on gold diggers?
There's no such thing as a gold digger. All women are expensive, so pick one in your price range and shut the fuck up.
What do you bring to the table?
I can't figure out why a man can't figure I can't figure out why a man is not approaching me. I'm reading her profile here. It says remote sales girly. That's good. Hiring, so she's hiring people. That's great. I'm guessing she's a dog mom and a cat mom. No, a cat mom. Well, with the attitude that we just heard, about you being super expensive, I can probably tell you with some form of certainty, not all certainty, but some form of certainty that attitude is probably going to cut a lot of men off. So I want you to be safe out there.
Since when has been an issue for a man to link girls? Like, I remember before, men wanted to link same day. Now, I just seen a girl complaining because the man that she been talking to for a month hasn't asked to see her yet. What is happening?
Because he knows as soon as y'all link up, you already got your stack of mail that you're going to hand over to him. This my bills. You need to take care of these by Wednesday so we can go on a date by Friday. I need to have time to make sure that they clear.
So I actually did learn today that men don't know that they have the God-given right and freedom to shut the fuck up. I was just leaving the gym and this man approaches me as I'm walking to my car, and he's like, "Ma'am, you dropped something." And I'm like, "What?" Like, I'm holding my AirPods and everything in my hands. And then I was like looking around. He's like, "Your smile." My what? I literally go, "Bruh," and just kept walking to my car. What the like, I need a phlebotomy.
And as you could probably guess, she's still single.
You know, from a men's perspective, are you waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first? Because that's crazy to me. Like, when you're in public and you're making eyes with a girl and you're like making it known that you're attracted to her, but you're not gonna say something. How are you not gonna say something? Where are the huevos? Where are the huevos these days?
I just don't know where women are going wrong. I don't know how they're not figuring this out. It's very simple. When you tell somebody not to do something, do not approach. Guess what? The vast majority of people, if you continue to say the same thing over and over again, are not going to do it. Well, why these men? Well, why did that man? The vast majority of men are not coming up to you, or else you wouldn't be here talking about why men don't approach.
Guys don't want to approach women anymore, and with good reason. You see all this stuff online. Men aren't taking no for an answer, and women are saying they're afraid of guys. They're creepy when they just come up to them. And so men are like, I don't want to be lumped up as a creep, so I'm going to stop walking up to women asking for their number. You see women saying, why don't men approach us anymore? Well, I think the real issue is women are asking, why don't the men I find attractive coming up to me? Because let's be honest, She doesn't find him attractive. She is not interested in him coming up to her. She wants the guy she likes to talk to her. So the ball is in the women's court. Ladies, if you see a guy you like, you might have to go up to him. Just show that you're open to communication. Ask for the time, directions, a recommendation of a book if you're in a bookstore. Just to let him know that you're open, and maybe that'll encourage him to talk to you. Because let's be honest, you don't want every guy to talk to you. Just your type. What do you guys think?
Where are all the good men at? They're everywhere. But you told them to stop approaching. So they did. Now, they're not approaching you. And you're confused as to why. Because you told them to. And now, you're asking, well, why aren't men approaching? Because you said not to approach. They're doing what you said. Last I checked, most of the time, men do what they say they're going to do. And, you know, if a woman says, please don't approach me, they won't approach. And when men are straightforward, men are very straightforward, most of them. Like I said, I'm not generalizing all of them, but most men are very straightforward. So if you say don't approach me, it doesn't mean yes, please approach me, but like don't, because that makes no sense. Men are not mind readers. So if you want a man to approach you, maybe you should approach him first, because your buying signals aren't making any sense unless we start dropping handkerchiefs like we used to back in the day.
Boys, you see how your mom's completely freaking out because she thinks she's too late to check out of the hotel, and she's acting like there was a horrific car accident or her child is dying or dead. Her panic level's like this. It doesn't make any sense, right? That's what women do. They go from here to full on crazy, and it doesn't match the actual circumstance that's happening. So it's important info for you guys to learn, okay? You understand?
Before I left for work, I told my husband, I just feel so fat and ugly. And all he said back was, you don't look ugly.
Holy guys. Does anyone else's brothers go and run and tell their dad that they had someone spend the night and no one can actually communicate to each other, so they just like all send really weird text messages in the group chat and no one knows what the fuck they're talking about, and I have to call my dad to find out what the fuck's going on, and my brother's girlfriend lives here and doesn't even have a license or a car, but I'm not allowed to have a sleepover. Oh my god. Oh my god. My family is so functional. I love this for me.
This is a PSA for all you men out there, single, married, in a situationship, in a relationship. What do you need in order to give a woman the world? I'm just asking that. My last video got a lot of comments and I love it. And somebody wrote on there, they were like, why don't you do a video asking men what they need in order to give a woman the world? And I thought that was genius. So go ahead. Let's hear it. What do you need? I'm trying to figure this out. Come on.
Probably genuine respect, peace, space. Genuine respect would be seeing and understanding what the man does and having a true appreciation for it. Too many times that women, they don't even know what their husband does, but they want their husband or their man to know everything about them. And even when they do know what their husband does, then they don't really have a true, genuine appreciation for it. It's just something that he does to make money, and I don't really care about it as long as the bills get paid. You know, you want that man to ask you how you're doing, what's wrong, even when you say that there's nothing wrong. But when it comes to his life, the things that he kind of thinks are important, you really show a great level of disrespect for them, quite honestly and truly. There's a thing about games where women talk about, oh, I don't want no man with no game because it shows this, it does that, and all that other nonsense, right? But he has to sit there and watch you put on makeup for hours and hours. He has to sit there and watch you do endless clothing hauls and do your nails and learn a different way to do the same type of nail and just a bunch of stuff that he really doesn't care about, and he's supposed to appreciate that. So
a lot of your favorite creators, influencers are sugar babies. A lot. Most of these influencers, internet personalities, are 304s. They're doing the deed. to make money. And not just influencers. I mean, like there's people that are in the healthcare industry that do this. There are realtors that do this stuff, like you name it. But a lot of these famous influencers, yup, they're hopping on the eggplant, getting that money.
We know. Unfortunately, we know. We know because they keep on asking us to provide them with these astronomical, out of nowhere dinners and lavish gifts and stuff like that. And you have the young ladies right underneath them trying to do the same thing. We know.
That's on the streets, y'all gotta step y'all game up. Y'all are losing to these dudes that's in the damn prison.
No, we not. We are not losing to the men that's in jail. I don't even know why you just lied like that. We do not care about the women that's supporting the dudes in jail. They can have the trash and the leftovers. We do not want them. And then you gonna say men need to step our game up? Nah, you need to step your game up. You think we hurt? Or in competition with somebody that's in jail that can't go outside when they want to? That can't even go to the store? That can't go and buy their food? That don't pay rent? That don't pay bills? That their lights and everything is paid for by the state? While they in there eating soy meat and getting woken up every hour on the hour to wash their ass, shower and we in competition with them? Hell no. Drizzle, drizzle. And we in competition with them? Hell no.
You know how those women say the bar is on the floor? If you're thinking that a man is going to have to step up his game versus a convict, and you're dating a convict, you're writing letters back and forth to a convict, a person, I can see if you knew the guy before he went into jail, like or he went into prison, that's your man. You know what I mean? Like I can see if there was somewhere, but some of these women are actively seeking out dudes that are doing the wrong thing, and they'll tell you they're doing the wrong thing, but you want us to feel bad because you hanging out with the wrong people and you linking up with the wrong people. That only lends more credence to what men say when they be like, y'all be linking up with the wrong girls and y'all wonder why y'all still single.
Hey, some girls honestly think like a man taking a girl out on dates and giving her flowers and shit is bare minimum. Like that's required to do for your girl. Like that's something you should always be doing once a week or something for her. And let me just tell y'all this. I don't have to do a thing with your ass. I'll randomly take your ass out or randomly buy you flowers depending on how much I like you or how much I fuck you. Just because I'm with your ass, I'm not doing that shit every week though. And if you get to the point to where you gotta complain about it or I shouldn't have to ask you to buy me no flowers or take me out, well, obviously not doing something if you gotta ask it. Like you worry about if I really put you or not, other than worry about is you doing what you're supposed to be doing to get this bare minimum y'all call it. You know what I'm saying? But being bare minimum to me, that's still money in my pocket. I'm not just gonna do it just to do it. You better be acting right. Like what the
This dude stupid. He say every girl got a celebrity crush. That celebrity wouldn't have to do none of that stuff they telling you to do. Stupid.
I gotta say, sometimes it's genuinely impressive how many ways girls can flip something that is clearly their decision making and their fault and be like, this is a guy's fault. This one's actually a guy's fault. So there's a new trend going on right now that says, what do you mean he drained the life out of you? And who would have thought this girl who's literally taking a video of her in a good mood, putting makeup on, she's clearly about to go out, she's very well dressed. And she's like, well, this is what he did to me. Did he take off your makeup? Did he like hold you down? He like rubbed it off of your face? And then there's this other one, same exact thing. Oh my God, he drained the life out of you, and it's her just like looking normal, walking around the house. But oh my God, look what he did. This is her after they broke up. Who would have thought? Somebody who's well dressed, looks like she's prepared to go out somewhere. You look better. Or this one, the reason that she gained a bunch of weight is because he drained the life out of her. It's not the fact that maybe you like ate in a calorie surplus and that's why you gained weight. Like, what did your boyfriend do? Did he like force you to eat? Like, I don't understand. Here's the thing. I can understand the whole premise behind if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend that it makes you not want to go take care of yourself. But at the end of the day, you are the one choosing to do that. So if a guy came on here and made the same video, I would have said the exact same thing. If there was a video of a guy being like, oh my gosh, she drained the life out of me, and it's just him being like unemployed, he gained a bunch of weight, I would say get your shit together, brother. Because when girls make these videos where they go from looking like this or looking like this, then they're showing that they could have looked like this if they just put in some effort, or that they have the ability to take care of themselves, or that they had the ability to go to the gym and actually work out, but they just chose not to until they had spite. To me, it just makes you look worse, because you're basically admitting like, yeah, I had the power to actually change some things about myself, but I just didn't want to do it for you. Because listen, like obviously the boyfriend here is like a terrible person, but like 90% of the time, like these people really didn't even do anything that bad. These are just excuses for people who let themselves go while they're in a relationship by their own decision making. Then they become single and they have spite and an ego, and then they're willing to go and work on themselves. Who would have thought that when you're single, you have to put effort into your appearance because now you're trying to attract different dating partners. But then when people get complacent and they have somebody who's stable, a boyfriend or girlfriend, they stop trying so hard. So it is more than likely the reason you look so much better in this picture versus this picture has less to do with a man or more to do with the fact that it looks like you're about to go out to a very prestigious event, so you have a bunch of nice clothes and makeup on. And then in this one, you're comfortably at home in an oversized t-shirt. Who would have thought you looked worse in that photo? Moral of the story, stop blaming your ex-partner for literally every single thing that went wrong in your life. You decide what you do to yourself. That's just my opinion, but hey, what do you think?
This dude said it looks like you ate too much. That's a crazy statement.
Yeah, so I was talking to this dude, and I'm asking him like, hey, like, can you order me some clothes and stuff like that because I'm gonna be going out of town or whatever. Why this man talking about some, you really be pissing me off? So I'm like, what's he talking about? So he double texts and he like, you trying to be outside and I'm trying to get stuff done, like just start going off. Ho, I already have a career. That's you steady scrambling trying to figure out what you. I don't know why it cut off, but yeah, ho, I already have a career. The already put my time in school, baby. I'm already getting paid what I'm supposed to be getting paid. I got my life figured out. That's you. Don't be mad at me because I put the work in early, but I can have fun. I'm talking about me.
This is probably not the way you wanted to go. This video about somebody buying you stuff and you disrespecting them, like men in the comments are saying, it really doesn't hit the way I think you want it to hit.
This is literally why I don't date. So I met a guy at the club, what you would think would be what ideal, because you're meeting them in person, which is what I've been asking. I want to meet them in person, right? But no. So I meet this guy at my friend's birthday, right? And the thing is, I haven't dated a guy since February of 2023, okay? I was like, I'm over it. I want to go to women. I'm good on that. And so I dated women, and then I was like, let me go back to men. Let me see what's on the... That's where my mistake was. Let's just see what's on the other side of the water, on the other side of the line. Like, you think you would, you know? So I meet him there, and you know, it goes well, whatever, you're drinking. You get the guy's number, the guy gets your number, whatever. And I didn't think he was gonna text me, but he does. And it takes him a week to text me, which I should have just been like, no, why are you taking a week to text me? And he's like, when he calls me, I'm like, what? I literally am like, what? And he's like, oh, I would like to take you on a date to, you know, blah, blah, blah. On when are you free? And I was like, I'm free on Monday, dude. I don't know. And I'm like, I'm really like, I don't want to go, like, because men. And he's like, okay, so Monday at 6. I'm like, yeah, we can go Monday at 6. And he's like, okay, cool. I'll text you the details, like, of where we're going and like the time, so you can put it on your calendar because I know you're busy. I was like, okay, whatever. He doesn't text me for 3 days. So this is where Alea. Where's Alea? Alea. So this is where I went wrong, because I should have been like, okay, why are you texting me? Why is it taking you 3 days to text me a place and time? So the Monday comes, and I'm like, I've already made other plans. I'm not going. See, 2022 Alea would have been like, no. He technically made plans 3 days ago. 3 days ago. 3 days ago, so it's still on. The plans are still on. No, so he texted me at 5 o'clock p.m. So an hour and a half before the day would have happened. He calls me, not text me. He calls me and he's like, oh, hey, are you still good for 6:30 today? I'm like, no. I was like, no, you never texted me, so I didn't put it on my calendar. And it's in an hour and a half. Like, I'm not going. I have other plans. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, can we do, he was like, oh, well, when are you free again? I'm like, next Monday. I'm a very busy person at the time. I mean, I still am. I make plans for people that I want to see. And this was a random person, so I was like, next Monday is the next time that I'm available for you. And so he was like, oh, okay, no, like, that's fine. And so the Monday comes, and he texts me at 9 a.m. this time, being like, hey, are we still good for 6:30 p.m.? I'm like, yes, that's how you are supposed to text someone. And so the first date's great. Okay, I'm not going to get into all of this because this video is going to get long. But the first date goes great, whatever. It's the dates 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See that to me? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That gets me, that blows me, okay? He's late to every date. He doesn't text me. He wants to only talk about sex. We'll get into that.
Honestly, something about her profile is telling me that she's running into the exact people that she probably would associate with. Like, this is the exact person I would expect you to be hanging around. This is the exact thing that I would expect you to be involved in. Well, I started dating women, then I went back to men, and I really don't like men. And so basically I got bored and I said, okay, let me give him a chance, is really what she's saying. Paraphrasing. So let me go on a date. Well, he's showing me why I shouldn't go on a date on men, yada, 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 yada. So honestly, with this type of energy, I can kind of see why you're in the position that you're in right now.
Okay, but like, here's the thing. I think we get delusional, right? Us girls, we get a little delulu. But I think we need to look at it from this perspective, right? If a man, like, ends things with you, even, like, goes on a little break with you, like, has no contact with you, doesn't know what you're up to, do you know, like, the level of I don't care he has to be at? Because, like, think about how many men are in your DMs, right? Think about how many guys you have coming up to you and reaching out to you. The fact that they would even have the chance, even open the door a sliver to let another man come and snatch you, he has to, like, really not care. I think we get delusional and we're like, well, maybe he needed space, maybe this, maybe, like, no, like, he made up his mind. He doesn't care. So if you're in no contact and you're like, oh, I hope he comes back, I hope he reaches out, like, I miss it. Why would you want somebody that even, like, gives another man the chance to come snatch you? Like, I don't know. Call me crazy.
I don't know if the men leaving you alone would call this a chance, to be honest with you.
Is it impossible for Black women to date in LA? I haven't necessarily felt that way, but I have been single the entire time I lived here. And it almost seems like the Black men in LA aren't checking for Black women. So unless you're open to dating outside your race, it seems like you might be single as a Black woman here in LA.
This comment says here, most of the Black men that are desirable that date Black women are already married. So they're already taken off the street. So basically, the good men are getting snatched up. So,
bro, propaganda I'm not falling for is men shooting their shot at women unwarrantedly.
Here's my take on the whole men don't approach women anymore conversation. There is a psychologist named Orion Taraban, and basically he's a doctor of psychology who talks about the transactional nature of relationships. And he has this concept called the $10,000 beer. And basically what he's describing is the risk to reward analysis of courting a woman. And the reason that I think that a lot of men don't approach women like they did in the past is because there are so many things that can go wrong and so few things that can go right. And some of the things that can go wrong outweigh the things that can go right. For instance, SA allegations, or even just like creep allegations. Now, obviously, what I'm describing are extreme cases, but there's still possibilities that definitely outweigh the opportunity that comes with courting a woman. Because if you think about things just like proximity, right? If you're approaching a woman at the gym and she takes one of these things to the extreme, now your reputation in that area is pretty much on the line. So I think that a lot of guys are taking things like that into consideration, and they're just saying, you know what, I would rather just admire from a distance before I end up on social media, before I end up with a video pointed at me, before I end up with rumors being spread about me that I'm this type of guy or whatever the case may be. And a lot of times that's just layer one for a lot of guys, right? Let's say the woman actually does give you her number. Now you're at layer two, and this is a lot of time where women tend to play a lot of games. So if the girl doesn't actually like you, or if maybe she just gave you her number because she thinks that if she didn't give you her number, that you were just gonna freak out, and that you were, which does happen. So now the courting process starts, and the courting process in itself is expensive for the man. So you're still incurring pretty much all the risk up front. And when I say expensive, by the way, I don't just mean financially expensive. And I think a pain point for a lot of guys is like, women have so many options that you say one thing or you do one thing that turns this woman off slightly, and pretty much all of the work that you've tried to put in to court this woman can be gone in the blink of an instant, and she can just be on to the next guy. So a lot of dudes just don't think that it is worth it for them unless the woman is really showing true signs of interest early on in the process. That is the most optimized dating strategy, honestly. Me personally, though, I'm still a proponent of just shoot your shot. Yeah, everything that I said, everything like that is all good and all valid and everything like that. I'm personally going to still shoot my shot, because shooters shoot. And everybody is entitled to their opinion.
I've been living in Dallas for almost 5 years and can count on one hand how many guys have approached me.
Nah, she ain't lying. I'm one of the dudes that don't approach. So I go out a lot by myself, right? I had to learn how to do solo dates, go out and just enjoy my own company, you know, just catching vibes. So with that being said, the women that I be looking at and I be around, they just don't look approachable. And I'm not saying it's an excuse to not shoot shots, but they just don't look like they interested. If we're going off the law of attraction, right? If I lock eyes with you and you lock eyes with me, I think it's the rule of three, I think, right? I might be wrong, but it's the rule of three. If I look at you and you look back at me and you turn your eyes, that shows me you're not interested. But if you look back at me 2 more times, I'm gonna approach you, because evidently you vibing with me and we making eye contact. Eye contact goes a long way, especially when you're out and about. Me personally, now I'm at this mentality where I'm gonna shoot my shot no matter what, because you just never know. It's just the curiosity in me now. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just look at a woman and she's not having it. Like, you just know sometimes, as a guy with discernment, and the fellas know what I mean by that. So ladies, you have your own discernment as well. You have your women's intuition. So y'all got that. So, you know, at the end of the day, just shoot your shot, I guess, fellas. But fellas here in Dallas, I don't know what's going on, but a lot of women are on our ass about not approaching. But I'm saying, ladies, try to look a little more approachable. Then maybe you might get more of a reaction.